I started Black Girls Cancer Club because I felt like when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, there wasn't a community for me. I felt like no one looked like me. And so I started Black Girls Cancer Club so everyone else can feel like the support that I felt from my friends and from my family, because my friends and family played a major role in how I just like maneuvered through my journey. So I started Black Girls Cancer Club to basically help other people have a support group and understand like there is life after treatment. Like it might look dark, but it will get light. Like things will get better. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, that's why I started Black Girls Cancer Club. So definitely my village was my mother, my daughter, and my friends. My mom fully took care of me during my process. I did become a single mom during my process, and my mom kind of just like took in that foot and just helped me through the way. With my doctor's appointments, with my eating habits, with me like working out. My friends were so dope. Like literally every week they would take turns like after my appointments. Like my appointments normally were on a Friday, so like after Friday, like on a Saturday, Sunday, like my sisters would come. Then on like Monday, Tuesday, like my friend Beth would come. Like my friends literally just took turns, and like on the weekends my friend Alex would hang out with me. Like they took turns and made me feel so normal, which helped me through my process, because when you go through something like this, your mind has to be strong. And I feel like they just like helped me with like my mind and like just like my thought process through it all. I also did have a therapist. Shout out to my therapist. He's super dope. I will not say his name, but he literally helped me get through a lot of obstacles I had. I did become a single mom, like I said, and I had went through this stage where I was like really mad at the world. I really was angry about like, why did this happen to me? Like, did God just like come down and like purposely was like, Brittany, like I'm gonna just like kind of ruin your life right now? And so because I went through that, I did have a therapist, and he kind of practiced with me about like, there is life after treatment and you will see like a better day. And so I definitely think like practicing good mental health is definitely important during this journey. So I do still work with my therapist. I think it's very important for us to keep a relationship. Even though I'm done with my journey, I think it's important for him and I to still, connect and talk, because it's still an everyday journey because I am in treatment. I practice every day. I definitely journal every day. Like I have to write out my thoughts, like my what's going on in my head. I have to write it out. I also do stretch a lot, and like I breathe, and like because I did get my double mastectomy and this area is like very tight, stretching is like kind of painful for me. So like I practice like my breathing, like breathe in, breathe out. Like I really practice on like being conscious and like my breathing and like slowing down and everything. So I definitely practice by journaling, my breathing exercises, my workout exercises, and that's just how I kind of maintain just a mental healthy life, I guess. And also too, I do pray a lot. Like I pray morning, day, night. Like my prayer life is like on point. It's my prayer is everything. So that's how I keep my mental capacity just like strong and together. My religion and my faith really helped me during this. It's let me back up. When I was younger, I went to private school and we prayed. Like I learned how to pray like and be disciplined when it comes to prayer. And it didn't make sense to me like why I went to that school or anything, but when I got cancer, it made sense because all of those things that my parents had taught me like activated. And so my prayer was a big thing during my process because your mind has to be strong to go through this journey. And so my mom had told me this quote when I was like very, very young. And she told me, when your faith is tested, we always fail as humans and never fail the test. And so I felt like when I got diagnosed with breast cancer, my faith was being tested. Of course, I was mad at God. I was like, why me? Like, I'm cute, I'm young, I think about other people's feelings. Like, why would you give me such a traumatic experience right now? And then I got to this point where I was like, you know what? Like, this is once again my faith being tested. And I'm not going to fail this test. And my mom had told me this quote at like as a young little girl. And so I was just like, you know what? It's time to have faith in God. And having faith in God is like literally leaving things in the palm of his hands that you cannot control and believing in him, like manifesting that life that you want he's going to give you. And so I think having faith in a spiritual system is very important during a time like that, because you have to have your mental like be strong. It's a war, and you have to be like gamed up and ready to like face these challenges. And so if your prayer life and like your mental is good, then your physical is going to be good, because it's easy to like be pretty on the outside, but it's hard to be like mentally equipped and beautiful and blossom in the inside. And so I think having your spiritual and your therapist and your mental, your insights be okay is like very important. Being diagnosed with breast cancer affected my love life because the first thing that they did make me do was fertility. Like that was like the first thing that was scheduled for me. I did have to do hormone injections, and they told me right off bat, like the type of breast cancer that you have, which is HER2 positive, I would no longer be able to have a child. And so the first thing they did make me do was fertility, and I did get like my eggs harvest or whatever. Um, it really hasn't affected me when it comes to like how confident I feel. As far as like intimacy, I have been blessed to have a partner prior to, right now we're not together, but I am blessed to have had a partner that knew me prior to my diagnosis. So he kind of was very patient with me and helping me understand the different dynamics of, my body changing, my image changing, me not having hair. I mean, he really like helped me with that. So I was really blessed and fortunate to just have that support. As far as like the menopause thing, because I am premenopause, um, I read a lot about like how it makes you feel. And honestly, like I haven't experienced any of that. Life's been like really good for me as far as like, intimacy or just how I feel about my body. I actually feel the most beautiful than I ever felt at the person that I am, because my mental is like, it matches my physical. And I feel like prior to this, my mental didn't match my physical. Am I dating currently? I am single on my terms though. I'm like on this new path, this new wave of life where like I have my lash business, Tessie Lash. I have my organization, Black Girls Cancer Club. I have me, Britmull. I have my daughter. Like I have so many things going on with me that like for the first time in my life, I'm like focusing on like loving me, embracing every aspect of me. And like I know like I look super bomb, but like it's no man involved. It's just me loving me and like giving myself more love and attention. My top 4 goals for 2024. My top goals are to be more self-aware of like my like who I am, like just love myself more, set boundaries, definitely be an influencer for breast cancer and have my own wellness brand for Britmull. My goals for Black Girls Cancer Club will to be I want to have a walk. I want to shut down Oakland, and I want to have a walk for anybody who mama, daddy, like anybody who suffered through cancer. I want us to walk together and unite as a community, and that is my goal for 2024. During my diagnosis, I did decide to become a single mom. The relationship before I got diagnosed really wasn't given. And so, we both decided that we should not be together. And becoming a single mom and deciding that decision was very important to me because I authentically wasn't my happiness. I wasn't living my best life. And when you're faced with breast cancer, you're kind of put in this situation like, are you living at your best capacity? Because life can be taken from you. My daughter was like my number one supporter. She would bathe me, wash my hair. Like, she was my rock. Like, watching her just let me know, like, I have to go through this. It was very scary to be a single mom, obviously, with this happening, but I did have my mom and my stepdad's support. It's actually crazy because when I got pregnant, I was not expecting to be a mother at all. And I had told my stepfather, like, I don't want a kid. Like, I'm not really on that right now. And he was like, well, why wouldn't you want to be a mother right now? And I was like, well, like, I don't want to be a single mom. And he was like, well, what's the definition of being a single mom? And I was like, well, like being alone, not having that significant other, that partner, that intimacy relationship. And he was like, whoa, that's not a definition of a single mom. Single means being alone. And as long as I'm alive, you will never be alone. And so when I made the decision to become a single mom, quote unquote, not with my partner, my stepdad reassured me that, yeah, I was going to have this journey of chemotherapy, radiation, but I wasn't going to be alone. My village was going to like stand by me and support me. And my stepdad literally did that. He took me to all my appointments. He took off work. My mom stepped in to help me with the baby. I kind of gave them their task. I was like, Mama Bear, you make sure Nadia has that motherly love that she's going to miss from me. Because unfortunately, when you go through a double mastectomy, I wasn't allowed to have her lay on my chest. So I couldn't soothe her like a normal mother would with their 2-year-old. So my mom definitely like stepped in when it came to that. And then I'm not my stepmom. My mom came into that. My stepdad came into the part of like taking me to my appointments, like just making sure everything was on point with me. So yeah, my support system was super dope. I became a single mom. I moved in with my parents. I decided to get a double mastectomy. I decided to get a double mastectomy because I didn't want the shit on me. And during my treatment, something came up on my right side. During my treatment, they like gave me a CT scan and like something showed up. And I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with this. Like, we're going to remove every bit and piece of this. So I did decide to get the double mastectomy. Best decision of my life. I do not regret that decision. I think surrounding yourself around people who love you and embrace you for you is definitely important. And, I definitely would go through this journey again. I went through this stage in life where I was kind of like, why me, God? Like, why? And I arrogantly laugh now and I'm like, why not me? Like, why would you not choose someone that's resilient, that's strong, like me to be your angel and to go through this journey? And so I'm definitely blessed that this happened to me because I've grown so much mentally that I don't take anything for granted. And I'm like very thankful for like my mental. I'm thankful to like move my neck side to side. Like everything people take for granted in life, I'm very blessed to have. And so I just want to be a light for anyone that's having like a bad day and feel like, why me? Get to the point where you're like, why not me? Like, he wouldn't choose you to go through like all these obstacles in life if he didn't think like you had the capacity to do it. And so it's like, mind over matter. Like, you're in the gym, right? And you see this girl and you're like, I'm going to be like her. You're not going to get through that journey just like overnight. Like, you have to build your endurance, right? You have to build up your muscle capacity. And that goes with anything in life. Like, yeah, bad shit might hit the fan, but like you can build up your endurance and you can like make it something so dark be positive, which is why I started Black Girls Cancer Club.